Let's try this, ready?
There he is.
All right. All right, so we're hoping that this stream is a little better. Sorry about the issues, you guys. We're hoping this stream is a little better. Sorry about the issues, everybody. Sitting next to me, we've got the one and only Mr. Jake Cox. How are you?
Doing well. How we doing out there?
Living life to the fullest. So, Jake, let's go back to the very beginning with everything. How has Baton Rouge treated you since your arrival here?
It's been great. All the people here in Baton Rouge have really made sure we feel welcome here, and we're really happy to be a part of this city and a part of the community.
Yeah, and you ended up staying here over the summer. What made you want to kind of plant some roots?
I did meet a girl from Baton Rouge. I have a girlfriend here, so that was some pretty big
That helps.
incentive for me to want to stay. Other than that, kind of going back to what I just said, it's a great place to live and a great place to kind of get involved with the community. So just wanted to stick around and kind of get to know people from a different angle.
Yeah, well, and not only that, you got your own lawn mowing business now.
Yes, absolutely. Coxie's Lawn Care. Everybody check it out.
There you go. How did that come about?
One day, my girlfriend actually moved into a house recently, and I was interviewing for a landscaping job to make some money to stick around this summer, and that same day she bought a lawnmower, and I just kind of thought, well, why don't I just do it myself? So that's kind of how it started, and I've gotten a lot of great support from the Zydeco fans along with other people around Baton Rouge, so it, again, comes down to those people supporting us, right? So thank you to everybody who's reached out to me and got their grass cut. I really appreciate it.
Did you have any experience with lawn care before that, or?
So yes, actually, a roommate of mine in college started a landscaping company. That's what he wanted to do with his life afterwards. So I helped him out. We kind of got it up and running in New Hampshire when I lived up there, and I always did all those jobs with him and learned a lot. So yeah, I've had a little experience before.
Now, the reason that people hire lawn mowers and people to help out like that is because it's too hot for them to do it by themselves. So how do you do it in the summer heat?
Well, being from Georgia, it's something I'm pretty used to. Yeah, it's tough, but you kind of just got to be willing to do it. That's a part of it. I mean, I signed up for it, so once you get out there and you get in a rhythm, it's not too bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go into hockey now. When did you first start playing?
I started playing when I was 4 years old, yeah.
Okay.
It was one of the first sports I tried playing. I played a bunch of stuff growing up, but hockey ended up being the main thing I stuck with.
And you started in Georgia at 4?
Yes, I did. I closely followed a team in the SPHL called the Columbus Cottonmouths, and that's kind of where I got my start, watching them.
Okay. And what were some of the other sports you were playing?
I played soccer, football, and I ran track. Those were my sports.
Gotcha.
That as well as hockey, of course.
All right, so all those kind of add into hockey a little bit.
Yeah, right. I found that soccer was pretty similar as far as some of the structures and strategies.
Yeah.
So it was always good for conditioning, too.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what made you narrow it down to just hockey?
Honestly, it comes down to the camaraderie of the guys. There's no other locker room like a hockey locker room.
Yeah.
It's just something that you can't really experience in any other sport, I believe. So that's what it was. I always thought my hockey friends were my best friends, and I kind of just wanted to stick with that. When you're younger, you just want to do everything your friends do, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that was it.
Got it. All right. Well, you played junior hockey at the NA3 level, and you actually killed it. You held the goal-scoring record at the NA3 level for a brief time. You played 181 games, 105 goals. Your best season was in 17-18, where you scored 34 goals. What was your junior experience like?
I love junior hockey. For myself personally, I think it was great for my development as a player. I think I needed to take those steps to mature. I mean, not only as a player, as a person too, right? I think if I went to college right away, I would have struggled. So it was definitely a necessary step for me in my player development and like as a person as well.
For sure.
So I was able to mature off the ice and get a lot better on the ice, and it led to where I'm at now. So I'm really happy I took that step.
Absolutely. College recruiting experience, I'm always intrigued by that. What was that like, especially after having such a dominant career at the junior level?
I was reached out to by a lot of NCAA Division III schools. That was something for me personally. I wanted to play at the NCAA level. So I took a lot of interest in two schools, which it came down to. One, St. Mary's University of Minnesota, and the other being Southern New Hampshire University, where I ultimately ended up going to school, Southern New Hampshire. I took a visit there my last year at juniors, and I really fell in love with the campus. And I got a strong belief from the coaches that they were going to give me an opportunity right away as a freshman. So that's the type of thing I didn't want to pass up. And
Yeah.
I'm ultimately happy with that decision as well. SNU was a great place to go to school.
Yeah, and you killed it there. Best season was 21-22, 31 points in 21 games. Did you always know that you wanted to keep playing after college?
I knew I wanted to try.
Yeah.
After my last college season, I actually played 3 games with the Delaware Thunder in the FPHL.
Yeah.
And it convinced me that I had the ability to do it. I thought I could play at this level and be successful. With that being said, it wasn't necessarily a place I thought I wanted to stay in my career. So I'm glad I tried it to know kind of where I wanted to be, where I didn't want to be, and if I thought I could do it. So,
What was the biggest transition for you from junior to college, college to professional?
I would say at every level, everything gets a little bit faster. You have to make decisions a little bit quicker, along with the physicality. Everything gets a little tougher. You get a bump every time you touch the puck with every level you go up, right? So I think things like that, and just thinking the game at a higher level as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are the big 3, I'd say.
Yeah. And last year was your first full season, as it was. How did you think it went?
I thought it was great for my development as well. It was a place where I got a lot of opportunity, and I was very happy with that. When you get to play every game and you get opportunities in different situations, that's something that's not going to happen every year in your career,
Yeah.
right? So you have to take advantage of those opportunities and get better with it. And I thought I progressed well over the year, as kind of the way the team did. Kind of started out struggling a bit, and then towards the end really kind of found our stride. And I could say the same about my own game,
Yeah.
I'd say.
And did you find it a little bit more of a grind since this season is a little bit longer typically than colleges and maybe juniors as well?
Yes, absolutely. The junior seasons are a bit longer, but when you make that rotation to college hockey, you're playing somewhere between 25 and 30 games
Right.
a year, opposed to the 56 regular season games we play in the FPHL.
Right.
So it's definitely a little bit more wearing and tearing on the body, something you have to
Yeah.
adapt to. Comes down to the offseason, taking care of yourself and learning how to be a pro.
Yeah.
So once you get those things nailed down, dialed in, it's a lot easier to make it through those 56 games.
Yeah. And what, other than obviously keeping in shape, doing the lawn mowing and everything like that, I'm sure that actually helps out a lot with it. What else are you doing in the off season to kind of prepare?
The guys who stuck around here, we've been going to Lafayette and skating at Planet
Yep.
Ice a few days a week, as well as going to one of the gyms downtown here in Baton Rouge, Nardfit. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's been a great area for us to just work out, lift weights, stay in shape, and then it's obviously great to get the chance to practice with one another in the off season as well.
Yeah.
So it's been good. I think we're going to be ready for the upcoming year.
Yeah. And shout out to Nardfit. They've been a huge
Yes,
help for our
absolutely. Shout out
organization
Nard.
so far. You were signed with the Zydeco back in May. How did that process kind of come about, and how much of a weight off of your shoulders was it just to know that, all right, I got something?
Well, I felt that talking with Everett in my exit meeting at the end of the year, I made it clear that this is something that I wanted to continue to build on. After being a part of a team's first year in the league, it comes with a sense of pride thinking that, I'm one of the people that helped build this, so I'd love to continue it, right?
Yeah.
Being given that opportunity, it's a no-brainer, especially with how we finished the year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're trending in the right direction. We've got the right people in the right places now, and I think that we're going to give it a heck of a run this year. So
Sure.
it was a no-brainer for me to want to come back.
That's awesome. Now, what are some expectations for the upcoming season for yourself?
For me personally, I want to see the team do well. Just last year it was a struggle, right? Record-wise. What I want to see is us just come together early, really want to play for each other.
Yeah.
And after that, I think the wins and losses will take care of themselves, right? When you get a group of guys who's really close with one another, they want to go out there and battle that much harder. So
Yeah.
I think if we can get the right group of guys, ones who are close to one another, it's going to be a great season.
Well, and like we were talking with Everett, those last 8 games sounds like something really clicked for you guys. I talked to his about his perspective coming from behind the bench. What about you from, actually in the locker room and being a player there? What did, from your mindset, clicked in those last 8 games?
Yeah, I think that it was a lot of buy-in, similar to what Everett said. I think it was one of those things where it was taking a while for us to all get on the same page, and once we did, you could see the results of the things that Everett was starting to implement.
Yeah.
The structures, the systems, those were all new to when he first got here, and you could see it starting to work, but we weren't fully there yet. And once we got to that point where we were fully there and everybody was bought in, knew all the systems, knew the structures we were supposed to be in, it showed. And I think
Yeah.
that's the results we can look forward to coming up this year.
Awesome. And you talked about making sure that the team is doing well. What are your team expectations for this year?
There's no reason not be a cup contender. I think we should
Yeah.
be right there at the end of the year. It's going to start in training camp, similar to how Everett said. But if we set the tone early and we get everybody going in the right direction, there's no reason this team can't win a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, getting ready to wrap up here with Jake. What are some games that are circled on your calendar right now, or what are some days that are circled on your calendar? Because obviously we've got training camp.
I can tell you that's circled. There is one Wednesday that we will be going to Columbus, Georgia. Last year we weren't able to get a win against the River Dragons in Columbus. I am from Columbus, and it would be great if we could get a win down there in Columbus, Georgia. So that one's circled for sure.
I love it. I love it. All right, last thing from you. How are people going to learn a little bit more about your lawn mowing business? How do they find you?
They can find me on Facebook at Coxey's Lawn Care. If you send me a DM, I give free quotes, so everybody please reach out.
Free quotes. You heard it right from the man just now. All right. Thank you very much, Jake. We're going to head to commercial break, and we'll be right back right after this.
Fall in love all over again with Shrek the Musical, an epic tale filled with hijinks, adventure, and lots of gassy fun.
I know it's today.
Shrek the Musical.
Tickets on sale now.
The Men's Network started when I went to a computer club meeting in the 7th grade that Brett organized. At that point, I had never met anyone that was as good at computers as Brett was. And by the 8th grade, we figured out that this was something that we could do professionally.
We moved to Baton Rouge to go to LSU, and that's really where our business got planted.
There we go.
Give Immense a call. Let us show
Good.
you how IT should be done.
Good.
So come on, show me what you got. You dancing with the juggernaut. I done had to fight for every last damn thing I got. Don't care about your feelings or if you understand me. All these things that I do to feed my family. So in the hell you think you're playing with now? You don't around and let the wolf out. And I'll be prowling while you sleep. You were playing for fun, I'm playing to eat.
Ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here with Mr. Bradley Richardson.
How's it going, guys?
Brad, you know Baton Rouge a little too well, huh?
Not too well, not too
You were born here. I wouldn't say raised here, but you were at least born here, huh?
Yeah, I was born here when my dad was playing here, but never really lived here that long,
Yeah.
honestly.
How long did you stay here before moving back home to Canada?
I would say it was probably like 2 or 3 years he played here before we moved back to Canada.
Okay.
I've been in Canada basically the rest of my life.
Okay, so no real memory of him actually playing here, other than like watching clips and stuff.
Yeah, nothing really particular. I mean, other than the time that the entire arena sung me happy birthday on my first birthday. but
That's fantastic.
I do remember that a little bit. That was
Good.
fun. Yeah.
Good. All right. Was hockey in your blood just kind of from the get-go with your dad? You know, still playing as you were born, or were there other sports that kind of piqued your interest as well?
Well, it definitely feels like it. I would say I grew up in the rink for sure.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of my younger days watching him play and in the dressing rooms and whatnot. So I would definitely say it's a part or in my blood for sure. But
Yeah.
I played baseball a lot when
Yeah.
I was younger. So I had to make a decision at a certain age and went with hockey.
Yeah.
Now I just kind of play golf and hockey with the guys.
Good. Well, and you worked, talk about being up in Canada, you worked for the Ottawa Senators there for just a hot minute. What was that experience like?
That was awesome. I mean, back in 2017, it was the end of my high school days.
Yeah.
So, I got to work with them as like an intern basically for my last year of school. I counted as a class, so I got to go and watch them practice all the time, and it was awesome to be around them.
You hear that, folks? You go to school in Canada, you get to go to NHL rinks. Go to school in Canada.
Here we go.
There you go. Youth hockey in Canada obviously is a different bird than youth hockey here. You played 3 years of junior hockey in the CCHL before coming to the U.S. Did you notice any difference in the way that the game is played in Canada versus the way that the game is played here?
I would say there's a difference, but I wouldn't say it's too noticeable. I mean, both places have their own perks and differences. So
Yeah.
I would say playing in the U.S., it was generally there was more hitting down here.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it felt like people were more aggressive down here. But back home, it was great to play back at home.
Yeah. Well, your first place playing here was with the Dallas Snipers in the Western States Hockey League, and you kind of blew it out of the water. 29 goals, 31 assists, 60 points. What was that breakout? What happened there?
That was after kind of a long time back home in Canada, just getting cut from teams that I thought I should have made, and politics and stuff like that. So I just decided that it was about time to go play somewhere where I didn't really know anyone and where I could just have a fresh slate. And I was lucky that my coaches in Dallas kind of really just let me play hockey, and it was great for me, and I got a lot of confidence back, and obviously with that came the points. But we had a good, successful year as a team, and that was the COVID year, so we didn't even get to finish playing.
Which is awful, because you guys did have a great season that year.
We were going to the playoffs, actually, and then that was when the season was called.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
Well, you ended up choosing McKendree University. How did that come about? What was your choice there? Were there any other choices?
So in Dallas, halfway through the season, we went to this showcase in Las Vegas.
Yep.
So there was a bunch of schools there that kind of would reach out to you and whatnot, and McKendree was the one that stood out to me because they spoke to me on all 3 days of the tournament, which was something I was looking for. I wanted a team that was interested in having me there, you know what I mean? I wasn't just going to be a number at their school, and I wanted to make sure that it was the right fit.
Yeah. Sure. Very good. You finished your college career on a pretty high note. 21 goals, 23 assists, 35 points. Your most points that you put up since your year with the Snipers. What made your senior year so special?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it was just I knew it was coming to an end, right? So I knew I needed to leave a little bit of a lasting impression there at school. We'd gotten into the college playoffs my first year there at school, but hadn't done it since, and unfortunately we missed it by like one spot, so it was tough, but towards the end of the year we learned a lot of great lessons as a team, and some that I'll carry on even now. So it was awesome playing with those guys. I hope they have a great year this year and make it back to the college tournament. Was
there any thought on going for a super senior year or no?
Oh, no, I'm not a good student.
The books were too much, huh?
I'm not as good at school as I should be, so
Understandable.
I didn't really think about it.
Understandable. Well, let's go back to your dad for just a little bit, because he did have a great career with the Kingfish. He played 5 seasons with the team and actually had the all-time goal-scoring lead for a little while there. So what are some of his biggest memories from being here, and what are some of the things that he told you about, when the opportunity came up for you to come here?
Yeah, I mean, definitely he told me about the fans first. Obviously, as you can see tonight, they're back again. Every week they'll show up, and that's the biggest thing that he told me was just be there for them because they're always there for you. So he would just tell me about all the cool stories and all the great people that he met down here that he still talks to now. So for him, he loved it because he came back here and played 4 or 5 seasons. So I think this was his favorite place to play for sure.
That's awesome. When it came down to you coming to the Zydeco, how did that process all kind of come about? Was it just kind of out of the blue, or was it something that was talked about for a little bit?
So I kind of figured out that I was on my own, kind of reaching out to teams in my senior year. So I I thought Baton Rouge would be a great place for me to come play. And at the time, MJ was the head coach still. So I had reached out to MJ Graham, and he had allowed me to come up and try out. And after my season, that's when E.T. was the head coach after that. So E.T. allowed me the opportunity to come down and try out for the team and end up played 20 games at the end of the season. So it was a great lesson learned, and I'm really excited for training camp, trying to make the team again.
It took you only 4 games to get your first goal under your belt. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, to score in the same rink that he scored in, it was really special. He called me after the game, which was a cool moment to share with him. But it was even better because we celebrated it with a win. So it wouldn't have been as special. I mean, obviously scoring your first goal is special, but you want to be able to celebrate it with a win.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and as a former ACHA player myself, talking to a former ACHA player, you're going up against guys who, just like Jake, they played NCAA D3, right? There's some pretty high-level guys. What does it say about the level that the ACHA is kind of producing over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I would say the ACHA generally gets a little bit of a bad rap. I don't know why. It's a lot of players that maybe don't necessarily have the money or the funds to go to the big NCAA schools or whatever like that. But I think the ACHA is producing a lot of great hockey products. You can see there's some players that are even going even higher to the East Coast in the SPHL. Yeah. So I think it says a lot about our league, and I think that they're going to keep producing more good hockey players.
Yeah.
For sure.
And next year will be your first full season in professional hockey, and I just asked the same question to Jake. It's going to be a bit of a grind, right? A different, number of games than you're used to. Is there anything you're currently doing right now just to kind of prepare for that type of thing?
Yeah, just starting to get in shape and get ready for the season because I know training camp's coming up quick. And like E.T. said, it's going to be a battle. So we all got to work our hardest to make sure that we make the team. And no spot is guaranteed, even if you played here last year or not. So we got to make sure that we come in and leave no doubt and start this season off on a good note here.
Yeah. You and I are roomies over at the mansion out in Baker. We talked about it before, how great of a job that the Booster Club has done kind of building that up. Who would you say is a better roommate so far out of the 4 of us that are living there? You don't have to say anything.
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, maybe we go with Andy. You know what? I haven't seen any messes out of you so far.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna go with you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's because I ran the dishwasher the other day, huh?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
it.
Good.
Yeah.
Last question for you. I know your girlfriend is not necessarily most pleased with the facial hair that you've chosen to this point, the mustache. Is it going to stay, or what are we thinking?
Absolutely, it's going to stay. I know it bothers her a lot, and I know she's watching out there tonight. So it's for sure going to be a staple, and I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon.
Hey, if it works, right? If it brings the points and it brings the goals,
exactly.
It's got to stay.
Whatever works, right?
It's got to stay. All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up here with you. I appreciate you coming on for at least a little bit.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Have fun in training camp, and we'll go to a commercial break and be back right after this.
Fall in love all over again with Shrek the Musical, an epic tale filled with hijinks, adventure, and lots of gassy fun.
I know it's today.
Shrek the Musical.
Tickets on sale now.
The Men's Network started when I went to a computer club meeting in the 7th grade that Brett organized. At that point, I had never met anyone that was as good at computers as Brett was. And by the 8th grade, we figured out that this was something that we could do professionally.
We moved to Baton Rouge to go to LSU, and that's really where our business got planted.
Give Immense a call. Let us show you how IT should be done.
So come on, show me what you got. You dancing with the juggernaut. I'd have had to fight for every last damn thing I got. Don't care about your feelings or if you understand me. All these things that I do to feed my family. So who in the hell you think you're playing with now? You don't f*** around and let the wolf out. And I'll be proud
Ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
The 2024-25 Broadway at the River Center Theater season is simply the best, featuring 4 big, bold Broadway hits coming to Baton Rouge. The season opens with Shrek the Musical, the Tina Turner Musical, Chicago the Musical, and Pretty Woman the Musical. Get the 4-show package for as little as $235. That's less than $59 per show. Learn more at RaisingCanesRiverCenter.com/Broadway.
Church Funeral Services will handle it all with care. Church Funeral Services.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktails. Wall-to-wall, state-of-the-art TVs mean you'll see every touchdown, Hail Mary, and big turnover in crystal clear HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino in Baton Rouge, where every moment is a win.
What's up, y'all? It's Brantley Gilbert here, and I can't wait to take the Off the Rails tour back out on the road this fall with my buddies Adam Calhoun and Demon Jones. We'll see y'all in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on October 10th at the Raising Canes River Center. Get your tickets, and we'll see y'all there.
It was nuts. All right, folks, welcome back. We got Scott Shirok up at the table. How are you, Scotty?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. You are also an ACHA kid, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. You grew up in Massachusetts, though. Big old hockey city. What was that like?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of really good talent that comes out of there, and
yeah,
a lot of kids I played against growing up are in the NHL now, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Are you a Bruins fan?
I'm a big Bruins fan.
So sorry about 2013.
That's okay.
Truly,
That's
I'm not actually. That's a total lie. I'm not lying. Where did you play growing up?
So growing up, I played for my local town team, which is the next town over. When I was really young, and then as I got older, I started playing something called the EHF, which was like the top tier youth hockey to play down there or up there. And then after that, went right into high school from there.
Yeah. In your high school seasons, you played 2 of them over at Dartmouth, and you really blew the cover off the ball. Honestly, did you notice a difference between playing high school and playing travel hockey or anything, or was it kind of? Are they 2 different seasons? Is it like Minnesota where they go in the fall, or in the fall it's travel, and then in the winter it's high school?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be your fall hockey team from August to November, and then you'd start high school, and that would go until March.
Gotcha. So did you play with kind of the same kids on both of your teams?
Some of it, yeah. Most of the time I'd go somewhere else, play with a bunch of kids from a bunch of different schools, and then I'd come back to high school and play against them.
Yeah.
Usually.
Do you have a favorite memory from playing high school hockey at all?
Probably there's one game I've scored an overtime winner in the playoffs, and they had like our whole school there, so that was pretty
fantastic.
Cool. And then another one would be we actually went undefeated my sophomore year, and I scored a goal with like a second left in the last game of the season to win it. So that one was pretty cool too.
That's awesome. Boys were buzzing after that, huh? You went straight to college after high school. Were there any thoughts on trying to go and play juniors, or were you ready to just kind of get in and out of college?
I was between playing juniors or going to college. Basically, it was between focusing solely on hockey or deciding to go to school. So I went to school for engineering instead of going to play juniors, and it just turned out that we had a really good club team there.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of colleges that were kind of on your radar, or was UMass kind of the main goal?
I was looking at a couple, again, mostly for hockey, and then I went to visit UMass one time with one of my old teammates who played there, and I just had so much fun that weekend that I loved it, and that pretty much what decided where I was gonna go.
Yeah, and UMass is obviously a massive school. What was it like playing college hockey for a school like that that's got such renown around it?
Oh, it was great. We have like 30,000 people or 40,000 people at that school at the time I got there, and we have our Division I team as well as our club team, and both teams were really successful, so it was a lot of fun.
Good. And were you guys able to, kind of get together with the D1 team at all, or was it? Yeah.
My first year of grad school, I actually lived with all the Division I guys.
Oh, that's
so
really
it was
neat.
Me and all them, and anytime we would not have games and we could go out, we would go out together.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
That's fantastic. Well, you ended up playing for 5 years. You did end up going for your super senior year with UMass. You scored 143 points in 112 games, so you had a phenomenal career there. Your best season being the 21-22 season with 34 points. You ended up getting the C in your super senior year. What was that like, being able to be a captain and for UMass?
Oh, it was good. We had built a culture there that started even before I even got to the school, and I was just happy to be able to continue it and make sure that got passed on to the next season too.
Yeah. Did you ever have a captain before or assistant captain?
Yeah, in high school I had one. My travel team I had one, and then in my U16 years I had one too.
Yeah. Do you notice if that changes the way that you play the game a little bit if you are wearing that letter? Because there is a certain amount of leadership that obviously comes along with it. Does it change the way that you play at all?
I wouldn't say it changed the way I play, but I mean, there might be a couple of times when I'm really tired at the end of a shift that I might put a little bit of extra effort in just because I'm supposed to.
Right. Maybe not yapping at the referee when otherwise you might.
Too.
Yeah, okay. Very good. You ended up winning national championship, I believe, in your super senior year, correct?
Yep.
What a phenomenal feeling that must have been. It was a 4-0 win, and it was on home turf out in Marlboro. How incredible was that?
Oh, it was amazing. We had all of the kids from the years before that were on the team that we couldn't unfortunately win with. We all came back. I had all my friends and family there, and it was just cool to see it all come together after chasing it for 6 years.
Yeah, I know that trophy could be elusive. It is hard to win a national championship at the ACHA level. Now, with you being able to come from not just ACHA, but ACHA Division II, be able to put up numbers like you did last year is so incredibly impressive. What was last season like for you as far as, a transition goes? Because that's a big jump going from ACHA D2. There is a pretty big division of play there compared to being a semi-pro player.
Yeah, I think that was the first time that I played against guys that were like older than 30 years old, some of them even 10 years older than me. That was a bit of a learning curve. They're stronger, faster, smarter. So usually when I go from like one league to the next, there's obviously time it takes to adapt, but I think this one took a little bit longer for me, but once I got it, it felt way more comfortable.
Well, and you had a great year, 19 goals, 16 assists, 35 points last year, and you had a great last 10 games, 15 points in your last 10 goals and 3 straight to finish out the year. One of those goals is going to be something that you're going to put on your highlight reel for a long time. Take us through that one, the Michigan goal.
Well, it was part of my warm-up. I do it every warm-up, like every time we go to change to a different drill. They were all messing me in the locker room. I got to try it one day. And then when I saw that I was behind the net with no defenseman near me, I was like, well, I guess this would be the time to try it. And it just worked out.
How many times during a game does it actually kind of click, like, okay, I might actually be able to pull this off?
I actually tried it 2 different times this year. The first time it didn't work. But it's only really when I see the chance to do it, I'm like, I'm going to try it.
All right, so you're running at 50%. That's a pretty good win percentage right there. All right, I like that. The 35 points that you had last year is the most you've had in a season since high school, and especially being on a team that last year ended up struggling putting the puck in the net for a good stretch. What do you think ended up making you so successful throughout the year?
I would say it's just getting more comfortable, starting to play more minutes. I think toward the end of the year, our team chemistry got a lot better, and I think that actually helped a lot with my individual performance as well.
What's your off-season looking like?
A lot of work.
Yeah.
I have 3 jobs, and then me and the other guys that are here, we go skate in Lafayette when we can.
Yeah.
We played a summer league over there. We also have a team gym membership to Nard Fit Elite, which is a great gym, really nice, a lot of helpful equipment and space.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Good. Very good. Well, what are some expectations that you have for this upcoming year, not just for yourself, but for the team as well?
Yeah. Well, for myself, I'm hoping to kind of build off what I finished last year. As for the team, I think my biggest expectation is that we start to build our culture and have our good core group, and like everyone can kind of come together. Everyone wants to be there, and I think just take that and run with it and see what it can do for us.
Now, I'm not going to go on how many goals you're going to score off of it, but what's the over-under on how many Michigan attempts that you're going to have next year? What could be?
We'll set it at 3.
Set it at 3?
We'll set it at 3.
Like at the first half of the season or like the whole season?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you.
We're going to head to a commercial break and wrap everything up here real quick.
The 2024-25 Broadway at the River Center Theater season is simply the best, featuring 4 big, bold Broadway hits coming to Baton Rouge. The season opens with Shrek the Musical, the Tina Turner Musical, Chicago the Musical, and Pretty Woman the Musical. Get the 4-show package for as little as $235. That's less than $59 per show. Learn more at RaisingCanesRiverCenter.com/Broadway.
Church funeral services, we'll handle it all with care and passion. Church funeral services.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktails. Wall-to-wall, state-of-the-art TVs mean you'll see every touchdown, Hail Mary, and big turnover in crystal clear HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino in Baton Rouge, where every moment is a win.
What's up, y'all? It's Brantley Gilbert here, and I can't wait to take the Off the Rails tour back out on the road this fall with my buddies Adam Calhoun and Demon Jones. We'll see y'all in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on October 10th at the Raising Canes River Center. Get your tickets and we'll see y'all there.
What's up, Baton Rouge? It's Nurse Blake. I'm bringing my Shock Advice comedy tour to the Raising Canes River Center on Saturday, October 5th. So if you don't have your tickets now, get them, hurry, at nurseblake.com. And hey, worry about your PTO later.
There's a time we all know is coming, but nobody knows just when. If you don't have a plan or you don't understand how or where to begin, at Church Funeral Services, we'll handle it all with care and passion. Church Funeral Services.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Brantley Gilbert, the Off the Rails Tour 2024. See Brantley Gilbert performing at Raising Canes River Center, October 10th. With special guests Adam Calhoun and Demon Jones. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. It's going to be one hell of a night with Brantley Gilbert, live in concert. For more, visit BrantleyGilbert.com.
All right, folks, welcome back. I want to say thank you to everybody here at the Queen Casino 1717 restaurant for coming out and supporting us again. Thank you to my 4 guests, Brad Richardson, Scott Chirac, Jake Cox, and Coach E.T., Everett Thompson, for being my guest today. Thank you to all watching on YouTube. Sorry for the issues at the very beginning. We got it all figured out, hopefully. Thank you to all of our friends, family, and fans listening all over. So, and a big thank you as well to our help from the Queen Casino, Albert, Ryan, and Mark, and everybody else behind the scenes who makes this whole thing possible. So we will be back next week with another show with Coach Everett, and we'll see you then. Andy Petzinger saying good night, everybody.